I'm Alan Spears with Occupy Democrats, and the future Vice President of the United States, Tim Walz, just completely destroyed J.D. Vance after he did his weird and sexist interview on Fox News. The past few days have not been very kind to Vance, as we have seen online. In addition to being just a weird little man in makeup that seems to have an unhealthy obsession with couches for some reason or other, Vance's numbers in the polls nationwide have only continued to drop. In fact, Vance is so unfavorable that we've actually seen him break records with regards to the amount of Americans that don't view him favorably. In fact, 538 actually has Vance polling at 42% of Americans thinking he is unfavorable or not liking him. With his net score being a minus 9.3, it is very clear that Vance is not viewed very favorably by the vast majority of Americans, not just Democrats. Now, while Vance is struggling in the polls, we have only seen Walz and, of course, Harris herself continue to ride this massive wave of excitement and momentum. Now, while we do know that September 10th is the set date for the first Harris-Trump debate set on ABC News, we've also just recently learned that on October 1st, we will actually have our first vice presidential debate between Walz and Vance. Now, while I do think that the majority of us are very excited now for the upcoming debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris, as well, of course, as the vice presidential debates, there is still a ton of time left for these two campaigns to continuing across the various battleground states and trying to cultivate as many votes as they possibly can. And while it's pretty clear that a lot can change over the course of just a month's time, as we have seen from example over the past few weeks, suffice it to say that the energy and enthusiasm on the Republican side has kind of taken a bit of a dip. Between Trump's rambling and slurred speeches and Vance's just weird comments, especially with regards to women, these two have done a lot of hard work to damage what momentum they had. But what better way to get a surge of adrenaline and get some momentum back into your campaign than taking an interview on a news outlet that only continuously supports you and never calls you out. And that is exactly what Vance did with Fox News. Now, the clip I'm about to show you is just a small section out of a much larger interview. However, this is the particular section that the future Vice President Tim Walz responded to directly online. So see for yourself what J.D. Vance had to say.
One of my dear friends tonight said to me, well, all these suburban women, all they care about is abortion, and they don't understand that decision is with the states now. It's not banned nationally, even if some people want it to be banned nationally. It's with the states. What do you say to suburban women out there who are marinating in this propaganda?
Well, first of all, I don't buy that, Laura. I think most suburban women care about the normal things that most Americans care about.
Don't you just love the fact that J.D. Vance can sit there and have the audacity to explain, or excuse me, mansplain to another woman what women in general are actually concerned about? That is bold, to say the least. But clearly I'm not the only one concerned with Vance's weird comments, as Walz weighed in shortly after the interview aired saying, quote, "It's pretty normal to respect a woman's right to make her own damn healthcare decisions," perfectly skewering Vance's commentary. You know, I'll be the first to admit that when Harris was first choosing her running mate, I was more excited about Pete Buttigieg. I thought that he was incredibly well spoken and that his career practically spoke for itself. However, after seeing Walz and the snappy comebacks he has and the energy that he's been able to tap into and the excitement and the compassion, I'm sold. Walz is the man. It is unbelievably concerning and revealing, too, that Vance doesn't take into consideration women's health as something that they are concerned about, that most suburban women are more concerned about normal things. I would love for Vance to define what normal things are. This is the exact sort of rhetoric we constantly see coming from Republicans, and it really shouldn't be that surprising to me at this point, but truly, every time I hear people like J.D. Vance just so blatantly disregard a woman's health or her rights, it's insane to me that these people have any semblance of power within our country. Look, I'm not going to try to tell suburban women what they should be focused on or worried about. It's their lives, you know, do you. But if I was a suburban woman, my bodily autonomy, my health and reproductive rights, that would be at the top of the list of things I care about. Look, everything that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, of course, and the rest of the Republicans say and run their platforms on, it's concerning. But to perhaps end on a little bit more of a positive or happy note, I don't believe that Vance is speaking from a place of hatred or true misogyny. I believe that he's speaking from a place of jealousy.